Welcome to the Weekly Pick and Pack, the podcast about all things inventory. Pick and Pack, powered by Fishbowl.
All right, welcome to the Weekly Pick and Pack. My name is Nate Flake, and we have
Hey, Nate Fulmer here.
And we have a guest today. I'll let you introduce yourself here.
All right, hi. My name is Osita Ibukichi. I'm with Out of the Box Technology, and I don't know if I'm going to be the first guest, but I'm going to go ahead and call first.
Yeah, you are.
You got dibs.
Yeah, you're
nice.
first. We're doing the maiden voyage on the guest here. So, Osita is, like you said, he's with Out of the Box Technology. He is a QuickBooks wizard, as they say here. He's talked to a couple of our guys here about more of our technical guys, and I'm not ever going to claim to be a technical guy because I don't know anything in that space. But from what they've said, they're very impressed. So,
Thank you.
thanks for visiting the office, Osita. Appreciate it. So we want to talk a little about today about, since we have the kind of expert here about QuickBooks. So I know this isn't a podcast about kind of inventory and the pick, pack, ship process, but you can't do any of that without an accounting system.
Exactly. I think Fishbowl, you guys are beautiful. You guys have been great here while I've been visiting.
Too nice.
Oh, no worries.
We're making him say that. It's fine.
Exactly. I'll collect my check afterwards. Just
Yeah,
you
someone's
can
got a
sign
gun to
my
his
name
head
later. But no, you're exactly correct in that. No, Fishbowl is your go-to for inventory. Can't think of anybody who's in the field who does it better. But you need to have a solid accounting system so that you're making sure that when you've shipped something that you're getting those payments, and that when something gets shipped to you that you're making those payments.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's where something like QuickBooks comes into play.
Yeah. So I mean, even in kind of taking a step back, even before, way before an inventory solution is ever put in place. Even like a startup, I'm going to start selling bags. I guess bags are kind of hard to make on your own, but let's say like T-shirts or something, right? So if you're going to start selling T-shirts, like you don't really think of, hey, I need to buy this, ERP system. But you have to have an accounting system in place.
There's always that IRS fear hanging over your head. You know what I mean? Like you got to
it's
have
real.
that accounting set in the right place.
Yeah, everybody that comes on, and gets any type of inventory system, they already have an accounting system. It's very, very rare. I think we recently did a customer poll, and it was like less than 1% were on a different system besides like QuickBooks and Xero, which means they probably didn't have any system. And so we're going to talk about QuickBooks, and we're going to talk about 2020 and what the new kind of the cool features are and what kind of came out with the release. So Osita, for you, what are let's say you have like your highlight reel, your top 5 features. Let's just start going through there. Give us the first one of that.
All right, yeah. For 2020, I am a technical guy at heart, and my number one feature is that I love how they've really updated performance on your data management. Just being able to keep your data clean is really kind of taking strides, and 2020 I think is kind of the apex of that movement.
Got it.
On top of that, we've also got some really nice features on.
I want to stop you real fast on that last one. What? So when you say it, they've kind of made it better. Like how? Like is it just quicker? Is it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For those who are okay.
Yeah, for the uninitiated, there was really
like me. I'm basically like there. What? Tell me what you're talking about.
Was it slow
I
before?
got that glazed look. Okay, yeah, I got you.
So just take notes. There'll be a test afterwards. You'll be fine. But yeah, it's like since 2017, there's been a real big push from Intuit to really kind of improve how you manage database corrections and making sure that it's an easy process.
Yeah.
And I think from 2020 is kind of like I said, the apex of that. They completely redid the rebuild and verify tool that they have inside of the program.
Cool.
That's nice.
And you can really see that in this version here. And this is I won't get into the weeds in it, but a lot of the errors that have been an issue in previous versions have been corrected in 2020. So
cool.
So it's really nice to see that kind of hit its stride.
The verify and rebuild. This is a personal question because I started an implementation team here at Fishbowl. So anytime we ran into a QuickBooks issue, and this is like back 3-4 years ago, and I want to know if this is a myth or not. Right? We were told if we'd get certain export errors to Fishbowl from QuickBooks to run verify and rebuild 3 times.
Oh,
Is that
so
is that like, will that like just murder your
well, I mean,
database or what?
if you
I remember just thinking like 3 times. All right, let's do it. Like, why didn't the first time work? You know,
if you take a hammer to something 3 times, you're gonna get a different shape, definitely. So
That's a great analogy.
yeah. Definitely. No, we recommend take a look at your verify, see what, because the results are really clean. They're very simple. They have links to the web articles now. So take a look at your verify
Yeah.
first, see what you're dealing with, and then take it from
so
there.
never do it. Like, am
Yeah.
I just making that up? Fulmer, did you ever?
I do.
feel like
I remember
we
the
were told
verify
to
and
do it 3
rebuild.
times, or at least verify and then do the rebuild 3. Like something that was like do it 3 times
Yeah.
and it'll clear everything out. I'm like, I think we just like broke their system completely.
I think it was one of those emails that got sent out that was like, hey, this is what's worked. It typically works after like the 3rd time, so that therefore was translated into everyone just do it 3 times the first time, just get it over with.
Yeah,
But I don't remember specifics.
there's probably some people like listening. Oh,
Yeah, they're
I
gonna
remember
get mad
that
at us.
3 years ago when you did that 3 times, and now it broke my database.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good.
Yeah.
So the verify and rebuild is like smooth as butter.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. All right, let's move on to number 2 on your list.
I guess. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you
No,
really
go
quick
for
too.
it.
Are we just talking about Are we talking about QuickBooks across the board? Are we talking QuickBooks Enterprise, QuickBooks Pro? Are
Oh,
we
this is
talking,
QuickBooks
like,
across the board. This is
Okay,
something that
this is just everything.
Exactly. Everybody and
Beautiful.
anybody on any level, you're gonna have some really smoothed out tools for taking care
Cool
of your
little
data.
features.
Okay.
And that and then I guess probably should have asked us at the start, but that release came out weeks ago, right?
Exactly. That was a September release.
September, okay.
that came out. We're currently in the first version of it, I believe, still.
Got it.
And yeah,
How often do they release versions?
typically speaking, they do it about a 1 to 3 month cycle, depending
Okay.
on what's going on.
Kind of like us. Okay. Cool.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, if you're ready and willing to jump in, I think now is a
Just
great
update that
point.
baby.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. What's number 2?
So number 2 is a really nice feature that they introduced with emails. You can now actually group email invoices to a single client. So like if you have multiple invoices that are open on a customer, you can put them all together in a single PDF file.
Wow.
Exactly.
very
So
nice.
previously you had to separate them out one by
So
one.
yeah, one by one.
Dang.
Hmm.
That's sweet. That's a huge time saver then.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
And cluster cleaner in the inbox if you're going to email them out. That's great.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's sweet. Okay, cool. That's pretty self-explanatory. What about number 3?
For number 3, I'd have to say there's actually a really nice reporting tool that they added in where you can collapse reports horizontally. So if you're running reports by class, and this will
Okay.
be really nice for your accounting guys and for anybody who's running your budgets,
Okay.
you can collapse those horizontally so that you don't have to like scroll all the way across.
Oh,
Oh,
cool. So it kind of
nice.
condenses. Does it
Exactly.
just shrink the font a little bit?
Yeah, it just basically
Screen fit?
puts it into a single column so that you can move on to the next section.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm sure that people reporting, we get a lot of questions and I guess not questions. We get a lot of feedback on reporting, not even like reporting functionality, but like reporting just like look and feel, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that was like part of one of our latest releases. They redid a lot of like, they kept saying the look and feel, right? And so I guess, I mean, it's kind of important. People like, especially now in the days of like, you have the like BI, Microsoft, everyone like wants their sexy dashboards. and
Exactly.
so they see the reports and they're like, oh, why doesn't this look like, what came out of Domo or whatever the BI platform is? And
You don't want to print it out and present it to the boss and be like, I'm sorry, mine looks lame and everyone else looks really cool.
sweet. All right. What's number 4?
Yeah, number 4, be just the self-help options that are available now are really kind of taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
They've really pushed forward with integrating it into their website. Previously they had like an internal help module. It
Okay.
was kind of text-based and it was kind of relevant to what you were looking at, but it was just it's gotten a lot better is what I'll say. And Smart Help is really great just because it links you to articles automatically based off what you're searching for. So you don't have to like look up a term and then go to the website and search for it there. You can just get directly to the article.
Oh, cool. And that's
Nice.
right from the interface itself.
Exactly.
Wow, cool. So the contact, walk me through, I mean, even now, but also previously, like if you were in QuickBooks and you needed help or you needed to get a hold of somebody or like, did you just have to go to a help button. It took you to like here's a phone number you can call.
Exactly. Yeah. But previously, what was going on is that you would look up a help article, and it would give you kind of like a reference for like what form you're looking at, or what the base function is,
Yeah.
or what you should kind of expect, or maybe some kind of sort of helpful tools. But now with the Smart Help, you can link you to their online database. You can actually get to forum posts from there, and then
Yeah.
if you're looking for help from somebody, they have some new interfaces where you can get live help or chat with somebody directly from the program. So it's
cool.
really nice.
So you can do the live chat right there.
Exactly.
That's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
How often do you use that kind of stuff?
Oh, so as a
You're like,
QuickBooks
I know
wizard,
you, I'm a
exactly.
wizard.
I've already evolved beyond help.
He's who QuickBooks contacts for
He's
help.
like, okay,
That's right.
Okay, so you don't have to use it a ton.
Nope.
Do you have clients that call and they're like, hey, I tried, like most of your guys' clients, and I guess kind of going further, like a lot of your guys' clients obviously come to you. You guys are the QuickBooks gurus.
That's right.
People can buy QuickBooks through you. They can do all the data things, migration, all that kind of stuff. Do you tell your clients, hey, before you try to even go to Intuit, come to us, or?
Yeah, no, because we got that knowledge, like we've got that background,
Yeah.
so we can just step in and make the process a whole lot easier.
Got it. Okay.
And just give them that direct guidance.
Got it. Have you heard any feedback so far about those features from any clients? Like, oh, we chatted today. And it
No,
worked
actually,
out really
we had a couple clients who they had some real basic questions and like I don't know. Oh wait, I looked it up here. I found it. I'm good.
Oh, cool. That's
And
sweet.
we love that.
Because
just
then
make
you're
it
like
easy.
then you're not spending a ton of time on the phone. Yeah, that happens a lot. I think with our support as well. We kind of have the same format. We have like a wiki page that has all the terms.
Oh,
and
I
stuff
love
like
your
that,
wiki. Your
and
wiki
then-
is beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. We have all passed on to the
It's another Nate that runs that one, baby.
wiki writer. Yeah, that's how, we only make sure that the Nates are doing the best things here. But yeah, we have a full-time person that's just on that wiki, so that's like their entire job. But yeah, it does deflect a lot of like the simple questions, and I think our support team appreciates it, right? Because then it's like, you could have found that out in 3 seconds if you would have just looked a little bit. So
Just makes it a whole lot easier.
yeah,
to,
that's
to
cool
get
that
to
Intuit's
knowledge.
like made it easier and more streamlined for the customers as well.
And that way we
So,
can focus on those really like process-based things and really kind of like
Yeah.
complex situations.
The real problems that, yeah.
that take time. Yeah, that's sweet.
That makes
Okay,
sense.
what's number 5?
Number 5 for me, and this is again coming from a technical standpoint, is going to be the easy upgrade. Kind of in my early days, when a big issue for people was upgrading their software
Okay.
to the newest release, and with the easy upgrade, it's actually kind of really simple. All it is you enter your license key, you validate it, it downloads the application, gets it installed, and then it's just a quick upgrade step from there. Like the upgrade process overall is actually kind of a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Because they've added in safety checks for the user
Okay.
that you normally wouldn't think of. So things like automatically making a backup for you. So if you need to revert to your data for whatever reason, you can.
Yeah.
Are there now.
So those people that
Cool.
didn't like think of that before and didn't put it back up, they were screwed.
Exactly.
So is this the first time they've done the easy update?
So the easy upgrade itself is
Or
just
upgrade,
kind of is like a new wizard interface for it. With the upgrade feature itself, it actually got a kind of a revamp in 2018. With how it created those backups for you, and now it's the whole process kind of like come together with 2020.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's way cool. And I know that before it's scary. Anytime you deal with your accounting, it's like everyone gets so
Everyone's
spooked.
panicky, yeah.
Oh, I hate getting on people's QuickBooks files.
No.
Like the scariest thing.
Yeah, I
don't wanna
refuse
mess
to
with
touch it.
anything.
Yeah.
Especially when beyond doing the initial like fishbowl integration, we're kind of told like don't get in there because you're not.
There's all sorts of
You're not a
liabilities,
CEO.
right? Yeah. Good luck.
Oh yeah, exactly. So a couple of the other random features beyond the 5 that you mentioned. So they modernized reporting.
Oh,
like you
yes.
talked about that, right? Dark mode. Everything's on dark mode now.
I know everybody seems
When we
to
talk
be in
about
love with
that,
that.
It's
like,
easy
what's
on
the
the
deal?
eyes.
Yeah, but like
I know, I just switched it over to my phone. I'm loving it.
I
Yeah,
ruined
the
my eyes,
phone.
and I wear glasses now, and I'm happy. So I don't know why everybody needs to go to dark mode.
Every like app, my whole Google feed is full of like so and so has released dark mode. Android came out, but then like every actual app is coming out with
With
like
a
social
dark
media.
mode
Yeah, like a
feature,
dark
yeah.
mode.
It's true.
Why is that becoming like such a hot thing? just because people are realizing it's so bad on your eyes.
I guess it's probably not any better for your eyes, is it? Like
took
it's
us till
still
2019 to
it's
figure
still
that out.
the same light, isn't it?
People
Like,
who
it's
love it swear by it. Like I've got a couple guys in the office who just everything that they run is in dark mode.
in dark mode.
Their whole computer.
Yes, exactly.
Our dev department's in dark mode, like the whole office is in dark
Wow.
mode. Like
Yes.
the lights are off. Yeah, our data guys, the office is in dark mode. They dress in dark mode. You probably should be careful. There.
I was gonna say.
My little brother's on that, so I can roast that too. But yeah, I don't know why it took us so long to figure. If it actually is that much better, I think it's just like a cool, trendy thing, and everyone's like, "Oh, if you don't have a dark mode, you're not hip."
Yeah, it's just different, and
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I feel like maybe it's because I'm super indecisive in general that I
Yeah.
like it like on like I don't know like a Kindle app or whatever. You can do like the medium
Yeah.
mode where it's like the gray mode or sepia or whatever. Like I like that where it's not super bright, but it's not just like I'm like reading white text on a black screen. You know what I mean?
If it's my phone's full brightness all the time.
Exactly. All the time. Exactly.
If it's not bright, it ain't right, man. That's what I'm saying.
I know. There's times where my wife will like roll over and pick up her phone and it like wakes me up. I'm like, whoa!
The Kindle though, like that is a different kind of light. That was their whole selling point, right?
I don't have a Kindle. I was saying like the Kindle app on my phone.
Oh, not.
Yeah, sorry.
But no, you're right.
Or,
Like the screen on that is like it's a little bit. I wouldn't want to say weirder than normal, but it's slightly darker overtones.
Yeah. Well, that was their whole selling point. Is like
It's
you're
like
not
reading a
looking at
book.
blue light. You're looking at a page.
And there's like
You're
less, what's the word I'm looking for? Like reflection off of it, right?
Yeah. The blue light special.
Blue light special, baby.
Yeah, there's less of that. So that's crazy. Okay. All right. Another one on here is improved company snapshot. What does that mean?
So for the improved company snapshot, there's actually, and this is a feature that a lot of people are not aware of. There's actually kind of just like that'll give you an overview, kind of some nice graphs and charts of just your financial information in the file.
Okay.
And it's because what it is like it's locked to the admin user, so the admin user has to go in and make it available to other people.
So if you don't know what that company snapshot is, you don't know what you're missing.
Exactly.
Get your admin on that.
Exactly.
What is it? Like a hotkey or something you get to go there?
No, just
Or
from
there's- how
from
do
your
you get there?
homepage, you click on company snapshot, and it'll give you graphs, overviews.
So it's like on the top bar.
Exactly. Just when you log into QuickBooks on the homepage at the top, there'll be a company snapshot tab. You
Okay.
click on it, and that'll open it up.
So
That's
it's almost
awesome.
just like a quick dashboard that just shows you like
Yeah.
where the company's at, right? It's a company
Exactly.
snapshot at that current time.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Not every user
Would have
probably
access
should
to
have
it.
it, but
Yeah.
if you don't have it, and you think you should get it, you should probably ask your admin about it.
Exactly. If you're not
First
the
time I've
admin,
heard about it.
just ask them to set it up for you.
Yeah, that's going to be the theme of this podcast. Is I have no idea what that is. Can you explain?
I know what that is, but can you just tell everyone
I've
else
heard
what
of
it
I've
is?
heard of that. Yeah. I know. Yeah, exactly. All right, next one. Invoice e-payments. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah,
The sending multiple.
Now, with that was a little bit separate in that because it's a new feature that they've added in since 2019 is that you can actually include a link if you have a QuickBooks Payments account, you can include a link for your invoices when you send that out, so somebody can just pay it directly from there, and then you can get a payment update status on that.
Oh, that's
Nice.
Exactly.
No
Very
pun
nice.
intended.
That's
cool.
money.
That's awesome. Bounced check processing. I that's pretty boring. I'll talk about that. iPhone scanner. What's the iPhone scanner?
And the iPhone scanner is that previously the warehouse scanner app that they created was Android only. It's currently they've got an iPhone iteration for it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Android. That's so surprising. Normally, it's opposite.
Exactly.
iPhone comes first. As a Google believer, I think that's not fair.
Nope, same here.
So I'm glad to finally see like one time that Android got it first.
Droid for life.
Yeah, I agree. Nate's not.
Isn't the whole? So no, I'm
Faller's getting heated over here. Dude.
stop talking about my iPhone. No, so from my very limited and actually zero understanding, let's be real. Like, isn't it easy to develop on Android or like on a like that base?
Yeah, because it is Windows based. At
Okay.
the end of the
I think
day,
it's easier. Yeah.
So it's easier to develop on that, but it's just like the majority of users are probably on iPhone. So it's like
most people go to iPhone first
Yeah.
because they think that.
because there's more
Exactly.
users
Then they
there.
learn, and then they
I think
understand.
there's
that
actually
Droid
more
is better.
users in Google Play. In Google, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not though.
Well,
Well,
Google kind of
Samsung,
forces your hand in some
Android,
places,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm saying Android as a whole. I'm pretty sure has more users. Than,
I'm sure they do.
I would agree. Just
But
because
I'm
my
saying like
Androids-
regular usage, like an iPhone, like
Yeah.
regular usage iPhones or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more iPhone
when
users.
it boils
than-
down to it,
yeah.
silly user, iPhones are for kids.
All
I
right,
heard a
let's
big
see.
sigh
Let's see
there.
this not gonna get on my back, dude. Hey, I'm with you here. We got 2 verse 2. And someone we haven't introduced that is not on the mic is we have Sean, who is our fact checker. So anything that gets said
He
that's
refuses to get
sketchy,
on the mic.
he will throw something at us and actually point to the screen and say you guys
Beautiful.
are wrong.
Which I believe he's maybe
So,
doing
and
right
he
now.
hasn't thrown us anything about the iPhone and Android thing. So I think me and Osita are right. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Automated payment reminders.
Oh, this is very nice.
Okay, talk about that.
So yeah, with the automated payment reminder, so it just gives you a kind of a reminder that, hey, this customer is not paid in this amount of time. Maybe reach out to them, follow
cool.
up, send them an email.
As a customer, I don't like that feature.
If they haven't, you can set that for whenever, right? Like you can say, okay, if it's been 2 days past due, then remind. But
Exactly, based
set
off the
2
terms
days
on the actual
before.
transaction itself, so that you get that reminder letting you.
So that wasn't ever before?
No, so you mainly kind of had to do that through your AR reports and kind of look at who's aging, who's past that time period.
So your accountant was basically up. That was their total
Exactly.
responsibility. So we're automating it.
Exactly. Less hands in the pot, quicker the process is.
I like that. I like that a lot. Horizontal payment collapse. Horizontal call-up. Wow. Horizontal collapse columns. We talked about that already. Customer
Luckily,
purchase
because
order.
that's a hard one to say.
How hard? There's a lot of L's, a lot of C's. Customer purchase order number in emails. I think you talked about that a little bit. So before there wasn't a number, it was just the actual name of the person, right?
Previously, the field wasn't available on your
vendor.
email templates. So like when you're customizing your templates, you can automate it to certain fields on
Okay.
transactions, and now they've added in that feature for their customer POs.
Cool. Okay. Company file search. We actually talked about this. So I was down in Houston with another company talking about what's new in QuickBooks 2020. It's like a lunch and learn. And these guys, they're cool group down there. They're VARC, and so they
VARC.
VARC. I keep saying it wrong.
It's okay.
Anyways, awesome people down there, and so they were doing a kind of a presentation on this, right? So their only complaint was, though, I do remember this. It searches, so you can do company file search now, but it searches default within the C drive only. Did you notice that?
Yeah, and technically
a
speaking, that's the default location where your file should be stored. I know a lot of people put things on external drives, so that's
Or
gonna,
shared drives, right?
Exactly.
But why would it be? My question is, because I agreed with her. Like, why would it be? It shouldn't be on the C drive, right? Or should it be on the C drive? Because it has to be accessible.
By default, that's where it installs it. If you share the location out, you can, but then a lot of IT professionals will prefer to put it on an external drive or partition the drive and then make that the shareable drive just
Okay.
for security purposes. It makes sense, but then it also makes sense why they would default to where their default location is.
Okay. All right. So now you can, but now company file search only searches like actual company files. So just open up your computer to any, the home drive. All right, update. We got an update here. We have number of iPhone users versus Android. Sean's pulling through with the facts. In 2017, Google announced the number of active Android users crossed the 2 billion mark. In contrast, 720 million iPhones are active.
So just going to give you a little podcast, not really great podcast material, but Air 5. Just spread that out there. Boom. All right.
I intercepted it. No one saw.
You knocked it down before I got there. So so we were right. So thank you, Sean, for that. Sean's proven handy. We were debating having him stay in the room, but
It took a long time though, so I'm not really going to talk about it. It's fine. Like maybe we'll snippet that one in a little bit where it was more relevant, but that's okay.
So the last kind of thing on the enterprise. So this is like specific to enterprise, right? Is that third line there? Landed cost. Let's talk about that. Like that's huge,
Yeah,
right? I think that's probably the biggest
incredibly
feature.
huge. I mean, that's been
that
an
they've
ask
added.
for like a good solid decade.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's a big move for them to add that feature in so that you
Okay.
can basically enter in a bill charge to an expense account.
Yeah.
Or you have like a shipping item, and then you can land the cost on inventory bills.
Okay. So for those people that don't, I mean, you said shipping item, but for those people that don't know what's going on with landed cost, or if, like, let's say you have, let's go back to the
sure.
T-shirt example, right? Let's say, so you make a T-shirt, it costs you $5 to make it, costs you $2 to ship it, but then let's say you want to be tracking landed costs down to like labor, right? Or any of these other non-inventory type items. So then you can land the cost of labor in there. Before you had to do that all manually, right?
You had to calculate it manually by
You're
hand.
saying, okay, I
using
have
the
3
information.
workers, it makes 16 an hour, blah, 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 right? Or whatever it is, and then divide the units, and you never got an actual accurate number.
Exactly. Like they just wouldn't flow into
Yeah.
the forms themselves or the reports.
So now you can say, okay, this T-shirt actually it cost me $5 in material, but it also cost me $1.50 in labor. It cost me $2 in shipping, and so now the new line of cost isn't $5; it's actually whatever.
Exactly, and that updates on the item itself, and then that flows into the invoice when you actually collect that revenue and put that
Which is
against your
huge
cost.
for people.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's really big.
Awesome. Have you had experience with it yet?
Yes, I've actually tested it out a little bit.
You're like, I'm testing this thing. I'm gonna.
No, exactly. No, every time there's something new, definitely just.
I'm gonna see. They say it works, but I'm gonna see. If it
You got to
works.
try to break it, right?
Yeah. So how has it been? What's the
Yeah,
good?
and the verdict is in, and that it performs exactly as it says. The interface window is actually really nice as far as it'll show you actually historically like all the open cost items you have available that you can put against it. When you actually apply it, it'll show itself on the bill, and you can kind of see the breakdown between your original cost and your new updated cost, and you can also see that on the item itself if you go into the item list and open it up.
That's
it's
sweet.
Very nice.
That's way cool.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of people? I mean, obviously, it's been a long time coming. Do you think a lot of people are going to you have to turn it on, or is it always on?
So yeah, it is. You have to turn on through the advanced inventory features. So it is part of their platinum subscription with that.
Got it.
But once you're in there and you have the feature available, I mean, there's no reason not to take advantage
Not to use
of
it. Cool. That's sweet. Okay. Express pick and pack. So I actually saw this as well, and this is kind of the sort of subject because we do inventory and we do pick and pack, and it's the name of the
And what
podcast,
it
the
costs.
weekly pick
Yeah.
and pack. So,
It's fine.
but and it's not a sore subject. I saw this too. So now, so before they had in advanced inventory, right? It's only in advanced inventory that does this. Okay. So you had to pick the order, you go through a lot of steps, and then you go and you pack the order. Different button. So now they've actually added a button that says pick and pack.
Exactly. Just
together.
make it one motion. So instead of
Yeah.
having to go through those two separate processes every single time, you
Yeah.
can just simplify it with one.
one button essentially, right? Okay. Cool.
Efficiency.
Efficiency, man. So this is cool. I mean, I'm glad they added that because I know that before it's just a lot of button
Exactly.
pressing, clicking around. Alternate vendors. So this is the last one on this list. So I saw this too. So this is cool. But you did have some feedback. You didn't like it for some reason, right?
So
tell me why you feel like that.
it's a great feature for them to add it in, and I love the direction that they're moving with being more expansive on inventory.
Yeah.
But we are limited to only 3 vendors, and so I know maybe you might have a little bit more than 3 with any kind of item, and that really is it.
So that's the limitation there. Hey, but they put it in.
Exactly.
Let's start somewhere.
The conversation has started
Yeah.
now, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's something that Fishbowl does alternate vendors. And I'm not trying to make every feature like, well, Fishbowl does this, but I'm saying
Little plug.
that's when I was doing implementation and like traveling and going on site to companies, doing all their training. I was always stunned at how many vendors people had. Like, hey, we have this one ball bearing, and we buy it from 178 different people.
Exactly, and
And like
that's average.
the cost is like, well, this guy could sell it for this price, and then, I mean, obviously there's crazy variation of how much the difference between people's costs, but also the other huge thing, and that's actually a question now that I'm saying that you could put like in Fishbowl, you can put the lead time.
Exactly.
And it's because like you're all right, do I want to get price? Do I care about how long it takes to get here? So you can put their lead time in there. Can you put lead time in there?
You can enter a lead time into the field, and it'll
Got
be
it.
visible when you open up the window to kind of look at the reference of it.
Cool.
That's
Okay.
nice.
When you go to put the part in on a sales order, does that show up as well?
Now that is where
Have
it
you tested
doesn't
that?
it doesn't show up like the cost, but there is a reference window that you can use to view it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So there's an easy way to find it. It's just not like
Right there.
open.
Exactly.
Got it.
Cool. Good thing. I mean, I'm sure they'll be adding some of this stuff as they hear feedback. But the point is, they got it in. That's cool.
Exactly. This is the start.
Yeah, this is a start. So I think that people now, and this is kind of going now that we've, kind of covered the features on that. I think people now, as far as accounting, I don't know. Like, I feel like people are moving now towards where the accountant doesn't want to deal. At least what we've seen, the accountant doesn't really want people that are dealing with inventory in the system.
Oh no, absolutely. Every single time that I've ever
Right.
talked to somebody about it, they're like, I want to separate these two. I don't want
Yeah.
them together. I want them to focus on what they're doing because I can't wait for them to get things updated. And also when I'm making changes, I don't want them to alter my numbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that some of these features they're adding are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I hope they don't keep adding all the features because we like those. We have those features, right?
We have dibs.
But some of those features are cool, all right? And so, but if you're like new in the space or you're just starting a business or
I was gonna say, I think
or
for the
you're
smaller
churning,
companies, it'd be
I
really
think it's
nice.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and especially if you're only doing like wholesale stuff and you're just buy and sell, Amazon for example, this is awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Landed cost probably you don't really care because
There's not any labor that goes into it, really.
yeah,
Besides
it's not
searching.
labor. You're like, oh, whatever. I'm just buying it and selling and marketing up and selling it. But yeah, I think overall, I think it's cool that they're kind of moving in that direction for people to be able to.
Exactly. If this is like your first foray, this is I think a great feature set
Yeah.
for you to get introduced to it.
Yeah, and if you don't know, so let's say I'm brand new
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a listener. I'm listening to this podcast. And I go, this is really cool. You guys are talking about this stuff, but I don't even know. Like, I have no idea where to even start. I know the new features are in there. Like, can you go in and pull up the release notes?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you go into go to Intuit's website and look at the
but like
community page.
within QuickBooks, can you pull up the?
Oh yes,
latest?
absolutely. There's two things. There's
Okay.
a brand new feature list, and this is something that they added in 2019, where they'll give you like short little tutorial videos on each brand new feature. That
Oh,
they've
that's actually
added
cool.
in. Exactly.
Little screen share, like it'll like have someone clicking all around.
And then this is one that's a little bit annoying, but then there's like little tags.
They're like, wait,
It's
like
like-
barely inconvenience, but
and they'll point out like these are the new features. Like click here to learn more about this. And
Yeah.
they'll kind of give you like a guided click through.
and then until you say skip it, and then it won't come up the next time.
Exactly.
That's sweet. Do you as someone who's barely using it, do you think some of these features are going to be handy for like brand new people?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Like
cool.
I wish I had them when I was starting out.
When you were starting out, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's only getting better and better.
Exactly.
Do you have any wish list items that they haven't put in yet? Since Intuit's probably going to be listening to this, they're going to be taking notes, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, I'd say QuickBooks is an okay name. If you wanted to change it to like Aceta Books or something like that.
Cedar Books.
Exactly.
I like that one.
Exactly. Just a little bit of a brand update.
Yeah.
refresh it. Get it.
Yeah.
Get the kids hit. Excited about it.
That's awesome.
I'll give you. I didn't really talk about this at the start, but give us a couple things as far as before we wrap it up, as what you guys do out of the box. So I guess let me preface it by we've been partners with you guys for a long time. Out of the box is awesome. Out of Portland, really cool office. They actually have
Thank you.
a fishbowl room, which I really appreciated when I went there. Orange.
Obviously, they know
but
their
the
stuff
team
about
is awesome.
QuickBooks.
Yeah. So what high level? What do you guys do if someone needs any what kind of QuickBooks services do you guys offer?
We are basically here to help you out completely when it comes to either hosting, troubleshooting QuickBooks, accounting. We have a ton of accounting experts. We have people who are very knowledgeable in their field. I think like somebody put it together, we have like over 200 years of accounting and QuickBooks knowledge all in our office together combined.
Wow.
And that's just in our office. We've got support staff all across the nation. So no, we're here to help people out with getting their books in control if it's out of control, or just helping you with your payroll. We actually even have a forensic accounting division that we just acquired, and so we're doing it all.
Talk about that. What the forensic side?
Yes.
That's super interesting. I remember it's Dawn Brolin,
That's
right?
some
Yes,
CSI
exactly. No,
Yeah,
that's exactly
she's
it.
awesome.
That's
Dawn's so cool.
Don
Yeah, she's
Brolin
super
is
cool.
the
But, like,
was
talk
one of the
She's
about-
super entertaining.
What does forensics have to do with to me? I was like, what is it? What are you talking about?
No, and
This sounds awesome,
some
but
of
I'm
her stories are crazy, but literally what they do is that they'll go through the books of people, and like if it's a criminal case or maybe it's like a private lawsuit or whatever's going on, and they'll look for those telltale signs because there's always telltale signs. You can't get away with it when it boils down to it, and they'll find that one check that shows, hey, this is where you messed up.
Yeah.
Or, if you're like going through a tax audit or something like that, and then maybe you're like in legal trouble and then you need help with somebody like going through your books, we can help you out with that.
Wow. So they've kind of built a business around doing just that, right? Like
Exactly.
just being the specialist and like, hey, we'll find where the issue was.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot with like fraud too, right?
Exactly. I like some of the stories that she's told are crazy.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have her on and let her go.
She would be an entertaining one to have on
Oh,
here.
yeah, she
We might
would.
have to make
Yeah.
an explicit podcast, but that's all right.
No, yeah. I already put the E for explicit on our thing, so
Oh, that's
people should be expecting. I'm actually surprised I haven't said any F words since we started.
We've been fairly
You
calm.
got me heated with the Google thing, though.
I'm sorry, but you were right in the end, so therefore.
Yeah. It's
The
like
The
one
important
time
thing is
it's
that you
ever
recognize that we were right.
happened. It's the one time it's ever happened.
So I haven't talked since. I feel like I've just been invalidated no matter what I say, so that's
It's like,
fine.
whatever.
No matter what I say, it's wrong.
So if you need anything with out of the box, these guys are awesome. The website
It's
is
outoftheboxtechnology.com, exactly like it sounds. All right.
We'll throw a link in this episode, and then let us know if you have any questions for these guys, and they would love to answer them.
If you've been in the space for a while too, they were formerly EBS, correct? And they have merged with a company that was Out of the Box Technology, and they've become one Out of the Box
Exactly.
Technology.
Yeah, you guys got a big shop. You have like a ton of different offices, right?
Yeah, we are. I like to say we are the premier QuickBooks support professional when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
No, we are the number one in our game, and we're number one for a reason.
Yeah. You had a ton of people that used to work. I mean, we didn't really talk about your background a ton. A ton of people that used to work for Intuit, a ton of Intuit experience there.
Exactly. We were support contractors for Intuit. We've been in the woods. When it comes down to it,
Yeah.
with the software,
That sounds scary.
To start out with, it definitely was like day one. I was
It's meant to sound scary.
absolutely-
It was scary.
You're in the woods. We're still in the woods. Yeah, that's scary. But you guys have offices in a ton of different states, right? I've only been to the Portland one, which is your main.
That's the hub.
Bigger
Exactly,
one,
that's
right?
the hub right there, and we've got locations and
And the East
people all
Coast.
over.
You guys have people on the East Coast.
We have we're mainly Midwest focused, but we do have some
Midwest.
people on the East Coast.
Okay, that's right. Okay, sweet. Okay, thanks, Osita, for joining us. I want to kind of
Happy to be
leave
here.
everybody with a little tip, inventory,
Warehouse tip?
little tidbit tip. So we'll try to do these. These are kind of like just stuff that we've picked up on as we've done trainings, as we've kind of gone on site. Myself and
The other Nate.
Fulmer, Fulmer. Well, I'll just refer to him as Fulmer because we're both Nate. But we've done a ton of trainings. I think between the two of us and Sean here, we've probably done over 100 different on-site visits and thousands of hours of training.
Yeah.
So we've kind of seen it all. We'll start simple with these, and then as you listen, they're going to get more complicated tips, right? But the first one is like people. It's insane to me how many people don't. Like you'll go to a warehouse, and people don't think about their pick order and where their inventory is, and like where their stock is, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so
It's like the number one sold item is like the far back right corner where you have to walk the
down
furthest to get
as
to it.
deep as it goes.
Yeah.
And so you have to just bend over, break your back every time to pick it up. But they're selling 500 of those a day.
Yeah, it's wild.
Right. So so that's going to be the tip of the week is like if you have a hot item, right? They have the technical term is that you have the ABC, right? The A makes up 80% of your hottest sales, right? Basically in the B and C, right? So this is your A items. These are your all-star items that are selling, right? If you're a Christmas shop, that's your, the stuff that comes in December or whatever it is, the stuff that's going to be flying off the shelf. Put it somewhere that is between the waist and shoulders where you can get it. Like it's crazy.
Make
to
it
me.
easy on yourself.
Yeah, put
Exactly.
it somewhere easily accessible, right by the front, or somewhere that's going to be easy to pick. So we talk about pick, pack, ship, right? So and for those of you who, like, if you're listening to this podcast, I pray that you know that what means, and you just didn't pick this, and you're like, a weekly pick and pack. That sounds interesting. Like, picking is when you physically pick up an item off the shelf, and then you take it over to pack that crap in a box, and then you pack it, and then you ship it, right? So pick, pack, ship, it's we talk about it all the time in training and stuff, but put it somewhere between the waist and shoulder. Put it somewhere either close to where the shipping area is or the staging area is, or right by, wherever the.
If you have a physical checkout somewhere where you can actually
Yeah.
get to that physical checkout
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, and we don't do a whole lot with the storefront too. I think I've only done maybe 2 companies that actually had storefronts,
Yeah.
but even those, it's like is a 7-Eleven, dude. Like,
Yeah.
where's the stuff at? You know,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
where,
no, you'd be
where,
surprised.
what is the method to this madness?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's just the easiest tip, and you'd be surprised at how many people are like, oh, I didn't think about that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it too is like, I don't know, depending on what level you're at, right? It's like the level of engagement that your management has, and like empowering those warehouse employees to be able to
Yeah.
say, hey, this is the hardest item to get, but we tend to go back there
Yeah.
5 or 6 times a day. Help them feel like they can come to you and say that, and give them the, like, help them feel empowered to where it's like, yeah, then move that somewhere closer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've gone to places where a lot of people are like,
that's just where it is.
yeah, we have to go there, but like, I don't know, I just don't want to like be the squeaky wheel and tell them that it's really a pain to get. It's like, well, that's
Yeah.
not a difficult thing. Like, that doesn't change their day to day at all.
Well, that, and also you're actually helping it. You're
Yeah.
actually the boss or whoever the manager is going to be excited because you're cutting down on time.
And in all reality, they just haven't even thought of that. Like, they don't care where it
They
is in the
don't care,
warehouse.
yeah. So, and then like also kind of going a little bit further on the picking. Like, if you're a brand new business and you just are on some, you know, you rent out a warehouse space, you're just getting inventory, you're all excited, you're putting it in there. You can create, even manually, if you're not using something like Fishbowl, you know, an inventory system, just make sure you can create a pick list, or sorry, not a pick list, a pick order. So then you're not backtracking, right? It's
Yeah.
like when you go to the grocery store,
Efficiency.
you look at the list. I never bring the list. I was
Oh,
freaking
how many
forgetting
times you
the
go from
list.
aisle 1 to aisle 15, back to
Yeah.
aisle 3, back to
Oh,
aisle
yeah,
17? Oh, every time.
Yeah, but like, you know, in your head, you're like, okay, let's grab this, and then go start here, and then go there, and then 30 minutes later, I'm in the snacks.
Be kind
5
to
minutes
yourself.
later, I'm in the snacks.
Slowly walking. Yeah. So, anyways, just think about your pick list because you're going to save a ton of time. And you may not be doing a ton of orders. Like, oh, it doesn't matter. It takes an extra 45 seconds. But hey, the plan is to grow, right?
Exactly.
Like,
When you
that's-
start growing, it'll
Yeah.
become a bigger problem.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna look at remaking your entire
Yeah.
warehouse when you could have just easily organized.
I
it
know.
ahead of
And then I mean, even just creating a pick list is crazy. Of like a pick order, right? Of saying, okay, here's your 10 items. You know, Fishbowl kind of has like an automatic tool where it will let you create a list where you're never backtracking. I freaking hate backtracking. It's my biggest pet peeve. But then, like, we've actually, like, a couple of companies that I've worked with, they've done that, and then they'll report back to me later, be like, hey, we saved 3 hours this week alone. That's 3 billable hours on
Exactly.
on your warehouse people, you know. So
I was going to say, too, I feel like there's a lot of companies that I've worked with, one specifically that I'm thinking of. It's not like we're talking about a giant warehouse here, like a giant garage somewhere. Like, it was
Yeah.
literally like 4 different closets, and that's where they had all their inventory. And
Yeah.
it was just easy to label, like, closet 1, closet 2,
Yeah.
closet 3, closet 4. And then, like, that was the pick list, basically. It's
Yeah.
like, go to 1, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
I
it.
think a lot of people start out and they think, well, I don't have like a full blown ERP yet, so I'm not even going to make an effort.
Yeah.
I can't do this without something like Fishbowl, you know. But like,
Yeah.
hey, you actually can do, you know, you can start somewhere
Yeah.
and then buy Fishbowl after that.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. Okay. Thanks, Osita, for joining.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was really
Well,
good information. That was
Yeah, you're awesome.
Thank you guys for having me.
I feel
phenomenal.
like I could get in QuickBooks now. No, I'm just kidding. I would never. So yeah, subscribe to the podcast. We're on basically every major platform now. So, you know, Spotify, Google, Apple.
Apple's probably the first one, though.
I think Google's first.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
Anyway.
man. Okay,
Yeah.
shut it off. Turn it off.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Shut it down.
All right, let's go.